Welcome to the Royale Room, the official show of Fantasy Royale, the proving grounds that is for all sports fans out there. If you think you know sports, now is your time to prove it. Come test your skills at our app, Fantasy Royale Sports, or our website, fantasyroyale.fun. Who will be number one in the nation this year? We're going to find out. Will it be you? That's what we want to know. Check us out. Thanks for joining us today. I am accompanied by my co-host, Riley, and in the back, producer Chloe, who just got some new hardware. So we're expecting some crazy edits coming out of this one. Looking forward to seeing that. But
I want explosions. Boom, boom.
Something like that. Boom. Producer Chloe. Dun, 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 dun. You know, something like that. You put the horn in there. But anyway, let's get to the action. I appreciate you guys all for being here, listening to our show that Riley and I are ripping. But I kind of want to start this one off a little different, Riley. Usually you bring in the topics, but I was curious. On my walk out here to the studio, I was like, if Riley was the number one picker in the world, we use picker because we don't have a better name. If you have a better name, please leave us a comment of what we could use for who is the best football knowledge person, because picker just doesn't roll off the tongue. Anyway, if you have a better one, leave a comment for us. But I want to know, Riley, if you were the number one picker in the world, what would you do with that? What would you do with that title?
I'll let everybody know. I don't think, especially you, I don't think I would ever let you forget that I was number one and you were 4,050th or whatever. I think I need a trophy too, to be honest. I need a mini trophy or something, or it doesn't even have to be mini. I want a full Super Bowl size trophy where I'm hosting it up. I'm sending videos in of me kissing my trophy at the end of the year when I'm number one.
Wow. Okay. See, this is how you understand, and this is where I knew this was going to go. This is the difference between Riley's mind and my mind. Because Riley goes, I want all the praise. I'm like, give me a Patreon. Give me a Discord. I'm selling picks. I got a community. Let's build them up. Who needs some picks? I got your picks. Right? You got to ride that wave. This is what I'm saying. Whoever is number one this year in picking NFL games and props should be able to quit their job because of the notoriety that they will be able to have with that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. The people the bettors that start their Discords and stuff like that, oh, you got to tell me. Man, I feel like the sports books there, they find out and all of a sudden, he likes to bet this. We're changing the lines now. And all of a sudden, your mojo is gone. Hey, that's just not going to happen for me.
If you got motion like that, if you got motion to change the sports books, then you'd better be selling those dang picks and having people tell your picks because you were doing something right. That is what I call, as the kids say, motion for sure. So anyway, I'll say this. Whoever gets that number one spot, I'm going to be right there letting them know, man, I don't know what you're doing right now. Maybe they are already just selling the picks, but definitely got to get themselves a way to utilize that. So I'm excited to hopefully our platform has changed lives out there, not just in the sports betting way, but also in the career path as well. So excited for this year, excited to see who's going to be number one. Riley, take some notes. Yeah, get your trophies, get your accolades, but you might have to quit your job. You might have to get a new side hustle or something. Who knows?
If people want to pay to kind of get a little taste of my knowledge, I'll take it, man.
Something tells me that I'll beat you this year. So anyway,
not a chance.
So maybe a couple more years, get your knowledge up. But anyway, let's jump into the topics. What do we got today?
Yeah, it was very new news we got coming in that Myles Garrett got traded. I don't know if you saw that. Got traded to the Rams. What's kind of your reaction to that? Is that, insane?
Big news. It seems to me like you have a scenario where there's a organization that needs help. They need help. And how does that help come? Help comes in draft picks. All right, let's see if we can get some draft capital. Because if you can get some draft capital, or hopefully you can get yourself better players, particularly a quarterback that can come in. I know they just went through the whole debacle with all the Sanders kid and the Oregon kid, and then they got Deshaun Watson. They got all the stuff going on with the quarterback room. They got to get that figured. They have a lot of spots. It's not just that. You don't just win or lose based on the quarterback. It is a big factor, but I think they're trying to load up on some draft capital so that hopefully they can make some more trades. So I think that's what that was. And then I know Myles Garrett was looking for a trade a few years ago. I think they gave him $40 million a year and made him the highest non-quarterback player. So he's like, I'll stick it out. But seems like he's getting maybe what he wanted as well, too. Can get into an organization that's got a chance to make a move in the playoffs. So seems like a win-win for both. One gets draft capital. One gets to go hopefully chase a ring. So I think it makes sense. We'll see.
Yeah, I think especially when you're younger, you're fine getting that money. But I mean, he's old now. He's 30. So I mean,
Whoa! I feel like that was a shot at me because you knew I just turned 31 now. Like let's calm it down. For a running back, yeah, 30 might be old, but for all the other positions, you still got at least till 35 to be considered old. Come on.
maybe it was a shot, But
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. But no, I think especially the DNs. DNs can play for a minute now. Look, you got Calais Campbell. He's not a DN. He's like a 3 technique interior D lineman. 39. He might be turning 40 this year. Man's 39, and he's like 6'8". Boys out there still playing. Still got picked up this year. That man is a definition of outlier.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so, shoot. He's only 30. He's got another 9 years.
Yeah.
You think it's good? Good for the league?
Not good for my Seahawks, I'll say that. You don't ever want the best defensive player in the league coming to your division, but the Browns need help. I don't know if draft picks are going to do it. I think they need more of like an exorcism on that franchise, but I think that they need something. They probably could have gotten more, in my opinion, but they probably made the right decision trading him in general. I think they are more than a few pieces away, so I don't mind trading your best player for something that can help you down the line. But the Browns are also the team that was trying in the NFLPA meetings that were trying to say we want to trade 4 first-round picks instead of just 3. So they're definitely thinking about getting as many picks as they can.
How many first-round draft picks would it take for the Browns to fix their franchise?
A lot.
They're going to need a lot of draft capital so they can go get players, go get everything. Yeah,
but hey, you can have the draft capital, but you also got to draft the right players, too. You can give them 10 first-round picks. I don't know if they draft them the right player.
When I say draft capital, I don't only mean draft picks. It gives you also trade equity as well, right? So you can go trade for more players with drafts and picks like that. See, this is the number one mind over here. You're like maybe bottom 20%, so you gotta think bigger.
Even if they're trading...
You're playing checkers over there.
Hey, last time they traded 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, and he's battling with Dylan Gabriel for 3rd string right now. So
sometimes you take a jump, you jump off that, and you hope that you can fly. And sometimes you just hit the pavement with your face. And when you hit the pavement with your face, it gets ugly. And that's what's going on.
Browns have been doing the latter a good amount.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Anyway, it's them are the Jets. I'm like, who is the franchise that is more in trouble?
With the Jets, at least people want to go to New York, man. I've never heard someone want to go to Cleveland. So at least they have that kind of pull. But
you are not lying when you say that, man. When we landed in Cleveland, I was looking around, and it's just gray. Like everything is just gray. It is just industry everywhere. It's just pavement, gray. There's not a lot of pop to the city there, and it's just like, I get it. So you are not lying. At least New York, you got the fashion, you got the movies, you got the big fancy buildings that actually look good at least. So I don't blame you. Yeah, I definitely would rather be in New York than Cleveland. No shade to Cleveland. It's a boring, dull city. I'm just gonna say it. That's my opinion. My opinion.
You're right. It's fine. I mean, it's more than opinion. It's the correct.
Anyway, so yeah, I think it's good for both sides anyway. So good stuff for them.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff now with these trades, and today was the first day of the new year. Certain openings happened today because this is when A.J. Brown's supposed to get traded to the Patriots. Today's the first day that can happen. I feel like because now you got betting and stuff where you can bet, hey, this player's going to get traded here, this player's going to sign here. Where does that come in with, the insider trading, you can go crazy with that where you're putting $100,000 on yourself to sign with the Cardinals, who are obviously last in the odds and stuff like that.
So you cannot insider trade. Let's just get that out of the way. You're not allowed to. That's why you see the feds cracking down on this stuff, especially people betting on oil and gas prices and things like that. You got the controversy with Trump and all of the trades that he's made and stuff. You are not allowed to insider trade. Let's just get that out of the way. And then as anyone in any sports organization within the NFL, you cannot bet on anything. Anything. Can't be games, can't be trades, can't be Korean ping pong. I don't care. That's the rules. That's what they say. So, yeah, you could pass some information along to a third party who passes it to another third party. I'm sure you can get around the lines somehow. But is it worth your career if you get caught? Probably not, because you're never getting back into the NFL, and it's a pretty awesome organization and awesome life that it provides for you. So, Maybe, but probably not. NFL does pay pretty well too, so if you're trying to get some extra dollars on the side over here because you know something, again, like I think that's just a bonehead decision if you're going down that route.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you there.
So yeah, do not insider trade, people. It's not worth it. It's not worth it if you're in the NFL. Look, some of y'all maybe be desperate, take any bone you can get to get a leg up. Be safe out there, people. That's all I'm saying. Be safe.
Be smart, more so.
Smart doesn't always mean you're making the right decisions. You know,
True.
Look. Just because you were smart and outsmarted the system, where's the integrity? Anyway, we're going down a moral path here. Let's get back on track. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, we can kind of move into NHL and NBA. We talked a little bit last week about the teams, but now it's all finalized, and we got the cities of the championship teams are Raleigh, Vegas, San Antonio, and New York. I would say that's probably 2.5, 3 out of the 4 are small markets. I feel like that's new. It's been a lot of big markets for these sports. I wonder if it's a good thing. I think it is. I think it's a good thing that you can see the teams even from, Oklahoma City has been one of the best teams, and that's probably one of the smallest markets in the league. So I think it's good for sports that you see these smaller market teams that can bring these players because they're good and have people wanting to live in Oklahoma.
I think it's good for sport in general. I think the smaller market teams have the more loyal fan bases. So I think that's where you see a lot of that camaraderie, the tradition is in the smaller market teams. If I relate it to like football, or you can do hockey out here in Vegas. Vegas is a smaller market. However, it's very concentrated on the sports because there's nothing for miles outside of this town, right? It's just a little circle on the map, and then Nevada is just open desert. So for us out here, people pour into their teams, and it creates a lot of something to do for that city. Like we just talked about Cleveland. Look at Cleveland. That fan base is diehard. They love those teams, even though they're not that great right now, but that's because there's nothing really else to do. So let's pour our energy. Hey, what are we doing on the weekends? Let's go watch football, basketball, all the teams. So those smaller markets benefit so much from having just a team in general. And then especially if they're winning, it just elevates the camaraderie in that whole city. People can really band together. You look at a New York or even in LA, you can have a team that's really good, like the Rams. They won the Super Bowl. It's like, well, there's still the beach over there. There's still Hollywood, all the producers over here. There's still all of this other entertainment. And people are like, yeah, cool, good for them. But then they move on to the next thing immediately. As opposed to if you win it in a small market, we're celebrating the entire year till next year starts where we're about to win it again. It's like a whole different type of environment and different energy that you get with the smaller market. So shout out to the small markets coming through. Big markets are going to come through as well, right? You gotta show love to them because they hold it down for giving us a big city, right? A lot of people keeping the sport alive. All of the production and stuff comes from the bigger markets. So there's plus and minuses with both, but gotta love the small town. As a small town kid myself, coming through and seeing some of these smaller markets. Money's still the same though. I'll say that. Like, look, you go pay someone. Look at Myles Garrett, $40 million if you stay here in Cleveland. He stayed. So the money talks.
Yeah, but I will say that branching into our next topic here is it's not the same in all sports because in the MLB they don't have a salary cap. And I know it's been a big thing. They've had their players association submitting that they don't want a salary cap, but they want a salary floor where certain owners have to pay a certain amount for their roster and stuff like that. That's been an issue, especially with the A's who are coming out to Vegas now. But baseball is one of those sports. It's more of the bigger market teams that usually dominate. You have some outlier years, of course, but Dodgers and Yankees have been basically the two best teams of this century. So, I mean,
what do you think? Do you think there should be a salary cap? Or a floor, as they say?
A floor, yes. I think there should definitely be a floor. I think these owners do of these certain teams is that they won't hit their big amount and won't spend in free agency because they can just collect that TV deal money, and that gets split evenly for the 30 teams, and they're making profits. They don't really care. They don't want to spend that extra money. So I think it's good that they have to spend at least something. I see the argument both ways with the salary cap in the MLB. I think it could benefit and it could help. I think there's even more argument right now based on what the Dodgers are doing. They're spending money and they're basically getting everybody all of the top free agents every single year. So I think there's even more of an argument now. And it's not like they're spending that money and they're not doing anything with it like the Mets. But, it's...
Well, let me say this. I think you look at the NFL. The NFL has a salary cap. We have a floor that you have to spend. We have a max that you can spend. There's some gray lines in there where you could actually go above the cap in certain scenarios, but then it's got to average out over time. What I'm getting at is there's still deficiencies in competition. There's still teams like we just talked about that need a lot of help. There's still teams that are crushing it right now. I think it's more competitive because of having the cap, and so it spreads the talent out a little bit more. But hey, there's still going to be teams that are better than others. You can kind of shift that around because now there's different players that you can lock in that make a different impact, and then they retire, and it's not you can just replace them easily by just throwing more money at it. That's why you see a lot of these quarterbacks that retire that have been a franchise quarterback. Now the franchise is scrambling trying to find out who's going to be the replacement, and their team looks a lot different after that. I think there's benefits to it as well. I think players can get paid more because of it, but you might mess with the competition level a little bit, and you're going to feel like your organization doesn't care as much if they're not spending as much as someone else is. Like, that's just what it is. But as a player, if you're crushing it, that means you can get paid a ton of money, which is awesome, as opposed to maybe having a cap that's like, well, I'm getting restricted now because the timing was off, and so they couldn't sign me because they had these other players signed. It's like, nope, they can also sign me at the same time. So I see it how it can play out both ways. I think there's positives and negatives to both. I think the competition gets better, and I think you spread the wealth more if you have the cap and the floor, which as a player I like. We're making a lot of money as professional athletes, but hey, can we spread some of the love, but also keep it so you can still pay guys $50-60 million a year if they're that type of caliber player. So I would be in favor of the salary cap and the salary floor.
Yeah. And those MLB contracts, they're no joke. You see those 12-year deals or 15-year deals, and they're touching
whole career
crazy figures. Yeah, they're signing guys to $100+ million contracts before they even make their first appearance in the league. They're minor leaguers that are getting that money because they're the top prospect and stuff. The MLB, I feel like, is just so different than the other sports, how it's set up and everything. I think that still the craziest thing for me was that the AL and NL, I mean, they had the DH where in the AL you wouldn't have the pitchers hit, and then like a decade ago you had the NL having their pitchers hit 24/7, and then you had to switch back and forth if you played each other, and it's just so crazy. And it's also another thing with the MLB that's different is there's no other sport where it's almost more of like a competitive advantage for playing at home because each stadium's different, the dimensions are different, the grass is different. It's just so different from that. So I just feel like the MLB is such a different sport in that aspect too. So I don't know. I think it makes sense.
Should they do that for NFL stadiums where you can have a little alteration, like maybe the field's wider in this place. Maybe it's 110 at this place. Maybe there's maybe the field goal's in the corner in this place.
I don't mind it, but I feel like that's something that has to be set like so long ago. If it first came up where each stadium had different dimensions and stuff like that, where, we're playing in Pittsburgh this year, it's 120 yards end zone to end zone. We're in Houston this year, it's only 50 yards both ways. I just feel like it's something that has to be set so
you can't
long
do that.
ago that you change it now, all of a sudden people are like, no. Give me a break.
Well, it's just the stats. The stats don't mean anything anymore.
Exactly.
If you're playing at the home field and you got the shortest field and you guys just score 50 points a game because you have an 80-yard field, it's like, okay. That surprises me that they have different terrain and stadiums for MLB, to be honest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, certain fields.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. Well, it's like what Boston has the big wall.
The Green Monster.
It's like really short. Right, it's really short on that side, so you could probably hit more home runs that way. If that's your home field, I'm hitting left every time, right? Just try to get over the wall. I'm gonna have more home runs in my career. I don't know if that's played out. Maybe it's played out somewhere. Maybe not that particular.
Oh, for sure. A few years ago in Baltimore, they moved back their left field 20 feet back to try to get more pitchers to sign for their team. So it definitely has some.
That's
tactics. Yeah, but they moved it back.
That's up.
They moved it up 10 feet because nobody was hitting home runs out to left anymore. So it's for sure tactical. In Houston, they used to have a hill that you had to run up to catch the ball in center. Actual, like, a vertical hill that you had to go up with a post in the middle. A full, like,
Oh my
post.
God.
It's just... MLB
That's
is
outrageous.
just a different beast with this stuff.
We got to get it figured out, MLB. Come on, let's get a standard field so that everyone can play the same game. You're playing all different games. Sheesh. But that's all we got time for this show, Riley. I appreciate you as always. Some good stuff. We got to work on your number one in the world picking. You could do better than that, Riley. Trophies only last. That's short term. They only last so long. You're thinking short term. I need you thinking long term, my friend.
You're thinking about making money for it. I just want the fame. I just want, look at me. I'm so cool.
There we go. There we go.
I want the bragging rights. Give me the bragging rights, man.
I mean, that just comes with it. That comes with it. But anyway.
True.
We'll see you guys next time. If you made it this far, leave us some comments. What should we call the number one picker in the world? Help us out, please. Thank you for making it this far. I appreciate you, Riley Pradesh. Can't even talk. I got this far. I've lost a lot of sleep, y'all. My newborn keeps me up to about 2 a.m. Ooh. For those of you who have kids, you guys know what I'm talking about. Producer Chloe, appreciate you making some banger edits out of this. And we will see you guys next week for next week's show. We'll see you guys. Peace out.